quite enough. Do you remember when I met your friends? Do you remember? We were at your house and I was so anxious for fear of embarrassing you. And speak to you all day because just looking at you made me feel nervous. I'm not quite sure why, but I couldn't breathe. And you called me that name your grandmother used to call you. What was it? Sausage. Lamb? So, no, it was lamb. She called you lamb and I'd always found that hilarious. As soon as those words passed your lips when it was about me, it was no longer funny. It was devastating. I was so nervous, Felix, because your friends, they're all bankers. And they wear suits and I'm more at home amongst the fireflies. They would make you choose. And you would choose them and my safety net would come crashing down. And you told me, laugh. Why are you so scared? If I like you, they will. I wasn't scared they wouldn't like me. I was terrified that they would. And I started to cry because there was nothing left to replace my fears other than tears for an imagined scenario where I spilled wine down my shirt and got dizzy. And my mask would slip from my face. And you would see the real flesh and pumping blood that burned through me. Your friends came round. 4 of them. No, 5. And I felt like I was dancing across fields again. Dancing across the golden fields of my youth. A striped t-shirt and a model spaceship. Hazy days, dirty knees, spaceships and picnics. Do you remember, Felix? Do you? Chemical unfurled from my lips, searing you scorching and bright. Thick, red lashings of blood that weren't about hurt, but rather about keeping our safety. Do you remember the way my hands felt on your skin? Hot like bleach. Do you remember the way the lights felt like fizzy pop around us, like we were drowning in a room of sticky, sweet coke? Do you remember the silences? The suit that I wore as we kissed under the arches of a disused power station. The pauses. The picture above your bed that I always said looked like your mother, but you always assured me it was all in my head. Do you remember the fights? Of an idea that at the time seemed so insignificant, but now with this ticking time bomb that separates us seems to weigh 1,000 pounds. Because the memories of the wet grass beneath my head seem clear, but the memories of wringing my own hands in frustration have been obscured. Do you remember the rings of Saturn? Well, can you remember something that has never happened? Can you remember a future waiting to be released? Can you remember an inconsequential possibility?